Hi folks, Tim here again, just talking about Linux a little. So you've got this old computer, maybe with Windows XP or Vista on it, and you're thinking, well, I can't get updates for those anymore. I'm going to just sell this thing and get rid of it. Well, you can still make it into a fairly useful computer, give it to one of your kids or a friend of yours or somebody who needs a computer, whether it be a desktop or a laptop. And you can do that by installing Linux Lite. It's probably one of the simplest Linuxes or versions, distributions, whatever you wish to call it, that you can download and install. Um, we are doing this video right now on Linux Lite, and what we've got is Linux Lite version 3.2, which I just updated today, about 5 hours ago. It's extremely easy to use. I'm going to show you a little bit about it in just a minute or two. First thing I'm going to do though is show you where to get it at. So we're going to go over here to a different workspace, and we're going to go to linuxliteos.com. You're going to click the download link on that page, and you can download either the 32-bit version or the 64-bit. That'll depend on which processor your system runs on. If you've got a dual core or better processor, uh, you're on 64-bit probably. You can also look your processor up if you know the specs on your machine and figure out if it's a 64-bit processor. If you're in doubt, just download the 32-bit and try that first. That will work with a 64, incidentally. You're just not going to get the performance. Now, we're running this in a virtual machine, so some things may appear to be a little slow. They're not actually slow. We just don't have all that much RAM on my laptop, which is fairly new, running Windows 10, but we're running Windows 10 and Linux at the same time. So, without further ado, we'll move on. Let's say you've downloaded it. You've now got it saved, probably on your new computer, to somewhere where you can find it. It's an ISO file. You're going to also need to download a little program called Rufus. Type in Rufus USB into Google search. You'll come up with this link right up top. Download that little program. It's a tiny executable. It's very easy to install. It's self-explanatory. You're just going to click on Make a Bootable Disk and then point it to the ISO file you downloaded. It'll create a bootable disk. Then you're going to go into your BIOS. Usually on a lot of machines it's either the delete key during startup, the F12 key on some machines. Asus machines use the F2 key. You can also look that up on the internet, how to get to the BIOS on my, HP Ancient PC, whatever model it is. And then you're going to boot to that and run the install. It installs pretty much like any other software. You're going to tell it to wipe the whole disk out, start over, and you're going to be booting the Linux from then on. Just make sure you have everything you need off that old PC first. And in the next segment, I'm going to talk about the other software. As you can already see, it has Chrome on here. We've got our bookmarks, all my stuff is there, just as if I was running Chrome in Windows. The stock install is going to come with Firefox, Mozilla. If you're used to that, it'll already be there. And now on to the next segment. Be back in a moment. Okay, moving on. Now that you've got your Linux installed, I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff it can do. We already know about Mozilla or Chrome, so you can do your web browsing. It's got an email client. Right over here on the Start menu is all your good stuff. We've got everything from our favorites that we use all the time, like Simple Screen Recorder, to the GIMP, which is a graphics image manipulation program, which we're going to go into in about 1 second. We've got a video editor that I'm going to use, and that's a free one. I'm going to use that to install or to create this video because I'm shooting it in segments. And I'll just stitch it all together, set it up for the web, and then upload it. And it'll look like one smooth video. But now onto the GIMP. Or, well, before the GIMP. Let's say you want to change wallpapers. Pretty similar to Windows. We're going to right-click the desktop here. We're going to go to Desktop Settings. And I like this one. So we now have that as our desktop. Incidentally, to make this little desktop, which was initially just this B29 and this museum shot, I went in and of course I had all these pictures here. Here's how that picture looked originally, and then this is after editing, and these are the pieces I used for it. The Corsair, the Raptor, the F-18, and I glaringly left out the, I had the P-40, I forgot the P-47, but that's neither here nor there. But how that's done, it's done in a program called the GIMP. The GIMP is available. It's not just available, it's installed automatically. It looks just like PaintShop or PaintShop Pro, one of those programs. It's got all your tools. You open a file just like you would in Windows, and here's that very same file. I'm going to open it, and there it is. Now let's say I wanted to resize it. I could go to Image, Scale Image, and I could change my pixels right there. Or let's say I wanted to point to something on here. Well, let's select the pencil tool. We've got about 8 pixels, so we'll use that. And I'm going to write my caption down here, so I'm going to start my line by making a dot. And then I'm going to hold the Shift key. And I'm going to go right on up to here. Boom, I got a straight line. And then my text. Let's see. We're going to have to make that a whole lot bigger so somebody can see it. We'll make that 40 pixels. And then I'm going to type something in here like 18 Hornet. And then I'm going to move that to where I need it to be. Whoops. It helps if you know what you're doing. So we're going to select that. Then we're going to go here. And we're going to make sure we've clicked on this. Now I can kind of line that up with my arrow there. And then I would layer. And I would merge it down. And I've now added a little caption with an arrow. The point is, it's a fully functional graphics editor. Lots of stuff you can do with it. I was able to just paste these images in, change the opacity on them. On here, I was on the F-18. I went to the extra steps of actually cutting out the sky background from it, so it just kind of looks like it's hanging there. But it's just pasted in there, and then I rotated the image just slightly. All tools that are available. So that kind of covers the GIMP. And if you had any questions about the GIMP, well, those questions can easily be answered by going to their help manual It's very thorough. It's online. It's available. You can download the manual too, but it's just as easy to use it off the web. And next we're going to move on to some of the other software. Be right back. Okay, back with a little bit more software that comes with Linux. You're probably thinking, well, how can I open a spreadsheet? Well, by golly, you can do it right here using Libreoffice. Now, I've got one already open right here. I've got a test document open. It's a Word document. So I can type my stuff in here with my expert typing skills. And there we go. And I would hit save. And I like that particular document. Thing. Right. So, say I wanted to open a spreadsheet. I think I have a spreadsheet somewhere here. Yeah. I have one that I set up for work. Use calculator. Here we go. Remember, this is going to take a lot longer because of the lack of RAM. It does my calculations, and I could out. Um, the sales invoice, it would show it created today. This runs same as it does in Windows. Just wanted to show you that. And we're going to close that. And that's about all for the Office documents. They do function. You save them in .doc format, .xlp, however you want to save them, or you can use the built-in Linux if you're just going to start suddenly using Linux for everything. And then the last thing is OpenShot. Now OpenShot, you can find it right here under Multimedia. I had to install that. You do that just by going to the installation program, which is here. And install and remove software. And then you just type in OpenShot, do a search. It'll tell you which packages you need. You say apply. It'll show up on your menu. Once you've done that, you have your nifty, super cool OpenShot. I've taken the first two segments of this. I just drag them onto the timeline here. I will stitch them and I will export them out. And I will have a YouTube video when I'm all done. So that's just a few of the things you can do with Linux. So give it a shot today. You can also install VMware on your current computer and try it out. Try different versions of Linux. It's kind of fun doing it that way. The main reason I run Linux, by the way, is so I can use this video editor to stitch videos together from whatever source and then upload them to YouTube. So that's it for today. Hope this was informative.